Hello everyone and welcome to Season 9 of OSAS. We're here all the way at the finale, at the very end of it all. Hi Brando, how are you doing and what do you think about this matchup?
I'm doing pretty good, and yeah, going right into it, first match of the night, we have Chikara Clinkers and Chikara Kittens. Classic Chikara team kill, kind of a staple in OSAS. But no, having gone up against both of these teams, I'm looking forward to a very competitive back and forth fight. We have a Fox and Socks on Chikara Kittens, really known for that I-Me goalie with a lot of those blink in and really aggressive play style, whereas we have Keone in the goal box for Clinkers, a little bit more defensive, really focuses on getting those clears and letting his forwards, Captain Yes and Vic Blade, really apply pressure and kind of only moving up when he feels like they need a little bit more backup.
Yeah, sometimes we see the arrow goalie, but it seems that is not what is being opted for here. Really depends on the bans as well as we're heading on to this at-lab game. And I remember one of the starting awakenings being Missile Prop. And Missile Prop is quite a fun awakening on Atlas, kind of unlocks your potential in the midfield with those primaries. But X and Kai banned away actually from Captain Yes, who has seen a lot of success with that character.
Yeah, Captain Yes, very comfortable with that Kai, very capable in the midfield. We do see Vic Blade picking up the X, probably hoping for a little bit more damage, but also that little bit of size. I'm assuming they'll probably go Demolitionist to help them win those strike wars against what looks to be a very classic Fox and Socks I-Me goalie on AtLab.
Yeah, that's a pick that we've seen Fox and Socks on quite a bit, as Drakar's locked in for Captain Yes, another pick that we've seen a few times. Lots of damage coming out from the Chikara Clinkers, and the Chikara Kittens on the other hand. They got to kitten this Juliet a little bit.
Yeah, they do have Mura on the now, which hopefully some of that healing will play a big factor in just keeping, probably Xenox is going to be the one taking a brunt of the damage, keeping them alive. But as we see, getting the kickoff, Keone kind of losing a quick, very unfortunate.
Oh, but it's actually Xenox who continues to pour on the pressure in the favor of Chikara Kittens, finding a dash punch, taking the midfielder off the edge so early. And the passing plays are starting to come through, but the communication is falling a little bit apart. And if your goalie is on a million ping, a back pass can really go awry a little bit.
Yeah, and we see that Clinkers really leaning into that damage. Vic Blade getting a KO on Mura, and then using that flip to secure the goal there. A lot of damage coming out early on the side of Clinkers, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, X notoriously known for scaling, so Kittens are really going to want to end this one quick rather than letting it drag out.
Absolutely, as Captain Yes and Vic Blade are trying to be the ones to take both the short and the long game. What a setup with the bell ringer, lining it up so it's so difficult for Fox and Socks to get any sort of defense here, but a double strike war will clear the core away, and a great glitch pop from Fox and Socks, and the center explosion will bring Chikara Kittens in a little bit of a lead perhaps in this point, but they still have to take that barrier.
Yeah, and we've already seen Clinkers really knows how to like target that damage, get those KOs, but Xenox, not too unfamiliar with the Julie, really knows kind of the kill range of that character and using the black hole very effectively. But now we see both forwards taking a lot of damage, which is not what you want to see when Clinkers have already been securing quite a bit of KOs this first set.
Oh, but a little bit of greed from both the brawler of Clinkers and the goalie of Kittens. First, not evading, and second, hitting it back into the corner right into Captain Yes's hands. And that's a 2-0 lead for Chikara Clinkers even as Vic Blade goes down. They're looking quite good to start this one off, and Fox and Socks has just taken so much damage, could be the next target.
Yeah, and they're already almost staggered. Vic Blade going to try to do that orb, but both of them able to pick it up. Fox and Socks still looking low, but getting out of there and able to heal up. So goalie, I was about to say goalie not in too much pressure, but Vic Blade is not letting up.
Absolutely not, but that Creation isn't letting up either. 2 barriers down. KNA in a tough spot. But we've seen them as the goalie in this spot before. They've held on long enough for Chikara Clinkers to build up a little bit of a lead. A great primary. So much damage onto Mura, who is not long for this world, taken away. And now these barriers could be taken if a good passing play comes through. Fox and Sox trying to interrupt, but it's actually Xenox. The ultimate interruption, just take out the midfielder.
Yeah, and just with these goalie picks, or just character picks in general, these team comps, I think when it comes to surviving having a striker down, going into a 3v2, Clinkers kind of has the advantage. Atlas very well at locking it down. If they can just get a forward to come back, cover the clears. And as I'm saying, unfortunate glitch pop kind of sends the core around the world and back into Kitten's own goal.
Great strike shot from KNA to get the core on the wrong side of the glitch pop, and is rewarded with a potential hot shot here. That would be devastating in terms of primaries, secondaries as well. Core speed in general so good on Atlas, but there are plenty of great awakenings for this Juliet, and plenty of great awakenings later down the line, right? The start of some sparks as well.
Yeah, it looks like Vicblade kind of really hedging their bets, hoping to pick up more sparks, just increase that scaling. I'm not sure if that's the play, letting perfect form fall all the way down, especially when you're already doing so much damage. But we do see now picking up the stagger swagger, which I'm betting Kittens is only hoping that it helps them survive.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Captain Yes tunnel vision onto the Chrono Boost there. Of course, the mobility is amazing, but perfect form might have been even better for focusing on the damage here. Drakara could have served as a second brawler, but a great dribble from the Flame Flurry up to the now drone is just perfect to get the second barrier. But once again, we've seen these barriers go down before, and this time's no different. TNA defending well enough, but not well enough till the end. A rebound is caught, and Chikara Kittens are on the board.
Yeah, and it looks like Chikara Kittens' win condition so far, at least at this point, is don't let Clinkers get a lot of damage early, because then they just kind of snowball. They get all that pressure going forward. Your forwards have to fall back, and Kittens just kind of struggle regaining that forward pressure once they have to play defensively.
Yeah. Oh, when they're forced to play defensively, that's what happens. Chikara Kittens can't quite get it away, and the stuffing prowess of Chikara Clinker's composition comes through. We'll see if that is a recurring theme, especially as Vicblade and KNA. Ton of meter to work with.
Yeah, and one thing I don't think we've really talked about, a lot of barriers are kind of going pretty quick, and especially with Demolitionist on the X, the Juliet, the Now, kind of using those abilities to secure those barriers is probably going to be the way to go.
What a midfield stuff by Vicblade. Really tried to get it through, and Vicblade with a dribble. Good prediction by Falcon Sox, and Muraz there as well. Crazy flip defenses as Xenox also flew in there with the Flame Flurry, but now Vicblade's in a 1v1, stunned away by the glitch pop. Well played by Fox and Sox, who needs to make a hard clear. Gets taken out while walking back to try and defend on the top side, but Captain Yes hasn't caught it yet, and it bounces all over. Xenox can't find the gap between Vicblade and Captain Yes, and Chikara Clinkers yet again on the lead.
Yeah, and this is just not a situation Kittens want to be in. They want to play that aggressive game. That's why Fox and Sox loves that Amy so much. It really plays into that play style. But as soon as they kind of get put on their back foot, they really struggle to get out and get that pressure going, as we kind of see a little bit of technical difficulty going into this set point for the side of Clinkers.
Mura has disappeared, and now we're just going to wait around. But yeah, it really is about whether Chikara Kittens, like you mentioned earlier in the game, can get the early offense. And so far, KNA has just been solo preventing that, right? With the hot shot, with the missile prop on the primary, getting the core away at rapid speeds, most of the time even taking a barrier by themselves. And Chikara Kittens need to figure out a way to deal with that. Yeah,
and missile prop, hot shot, really good, really gives Atlas that kind of range that he needs to deny any midfield pressure, so that his midfielders can actually play forward and kind of be that aggressor. But also the strike shot, giving them, if Xenox or Mura tries to like dribble and just approach their goal, that strike shot is great at denying that and keeping the pressure going for the side of Clinkers, and giving that little bit extra projectile range for that primary on top of missile propulsion.
Yeah, and Fox and Sox notably has had some great glitch pops in the midfield, but I don't think we've really seen good offensive cyber swipes. And that's something that, if Chikara Kittens can get going, can be a huge strength for them in terms of layering offense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Kittens kind of live and die by that high risk, high reward play style. Like you said, Fox and Sox, they're really good with those glitch pops. But the real defining factor is how effective can they be with those blinks, helping those forwards get the goals, get the barriers down, and just again keeping that pressure going, and an eject button back before it runs out. Or do they kind of get greedy and do a 3-striker push to try to secure a point?
Fox and Sox is now the one not responding. Oh, there we go. Okay, it looks like we are back and we should be starting this game. And okay, there we go. Everyone is tapped back in. And in this overtime, that hot shot on the Atlas is going to be even more frightful. As the Sad Boys angle on the top side, Xenox capitalizes with a dash punch, adrenaline rush time. Vicplay taking a lot of damage, but healed up by the Celestial intervention as Kyone defends, has the flip, sends to the top side, and Fox and Sox passing play start up. Xenox a little too close to the edge, but Fox and Sox, exactly what was necessary. We mentioned it during the break, and Chikara Kittens are there.
Yeah, and starting that point off in overtime, you kind of mentioned how dangerous that hot shot can be for Chikara Kittens. But with this team comp and just kind of Kittens play style of really wanting to get the core out of their goal box, overtime might favor them a bit more.
Oh, but that kind of point is just rough. Chikara Clinkers got an early lead and converted it efficiently. Vicblade the KO, a cherry on top to cement the first pick here. And a spark approaches. Of course, you have to give up such a scary awakening to Juliet, but you weren't really denying in the first place, right? Because Juliet can pick 1-2 or Knife's Edge, so it's just spark in time.
Yeah, they could pick 1-2, they could pick Knife's Edge.
Why are you denying?
Julie goes for the big fish? I was actually kind of surprised Julie doesn't, yeah, the Knife's Edge would be great for those kills, but even denying the Twin Drive from Atlas. Like, Twin Drive, if you miss a kick, you still have a kick.
Yeah, so first of all, X should not be denying 1-2 punch here because Julie has the option between 1-2 and Knife's Edge, so they're undeniable. But then Julie goes for Big Fish instead of Knife's Edge, and now this game is really confusing. But I think Chikara Clinkers has come out on top because Kyone has Hotshot Twin Drive.
Yeah, I think that Twin Drive pickup is probably going to be the biggest thing coming out of that draft. And at that point, not really long enough for that Twin Drive to make a difference, but Kyone doing a good job getting those saves, but also getting those saves and clearing it quick enough for Captain Yes and Vicblade to keep that pressure going, and really not having to move out of Kitten's goal box once they start getting set up.
Xenox trying to use that additional size to win the strike wars, but you're against Kyone, who has so many defensive abilities to not even take the strike war in the first place. Vicblade and Captain Yes going in, finding the shotgun for the goal. And Chikara Kittens, I don't think they'll ever get a clean offensive opportunity.
No, not with this setup. Fox and Sox has that Super Surge, has that Deadeye. They want to get the kills, but they have to use everything defensively. They can't get the... But maybe now with Xenox getting a KO on Vicblade, they can get some pressure going, and Kittens can finally play the kind of game they want to play.
But the issue is, right, you have to get through Kyone. Kyone still has pretty much every cooldown available. Primary, secondary, another secondary on the board as well. A special for good measure to make sure the team doesn't die again. And Kyone has the cooldowns back again, like this bottom barrier theoretically should be staying up for what seems like forever. Even has the flip, uses it very late, but still gets out of there with a good angle around Xenox, and Vicblade staying alive for the moment. Kyone, again, so many cooldowns available now, can just pass it, primary it out. And this barrier on the other end is so dangerously low. Chikara Kittens losing the barrier, open net situation as overtime's about to take over.
Yeah, and Fox and Sox trying to use that flip defensively to save the barrier, but Kyone, with all that projectile range on that Atlas primary, able to send that astral projection so far forward that Fox and Sox did not have a clear.
And that core speed is coming out as well. Kyone, expanse is risky, but it gets the right bounce to save it. But this time it falls just short. Good shot placement by Xenox to get Chikara Kittens on the board. But they're going to need to be a little bit faster than that in the future points, because I think Chikara Clinkers missed out on a few opportunities of their own there.
Yeah, but kind of like I was saying, I think overtime and this core speed that comes with it favors Kittens just so they can get it out, and Xenox can play forward and not have to fall back as much as they are right now, and really keep Keone from pushing forward and applying that midfield pressure.
Yeah, but maybe Xenox should be pushing up anyway, even if the core control is not quite there. We're seeing that now. We're seeing a berry being taken and a flip being burned from Kione. And that could be Chikara Kitten's way back into the game, especially because of the awkward positioning. Kione positioning top side, leaving the barrier wide open. Good expanse to save it, but again, it's an open net in your Atlas, and Chikara Kittens really capitalizing on every single positioning from Chikara Clinkers.
Yeah, Keone, especially when you're down to one barrier, it's like, first rule of AtLab from goalie, never give up the double barrier. Secondly, especially if you're Atlas, just sit on a barrier. Especially you have Twin Drive, you have Hot Shot, you have so many abilities to keep that one barrier up. It should not go down. And realistically, unless you have some kind of power play going, you don't really need to leave it when you have all this projectile range as well.
Super Surge Deadeye though, Fox and Sox, a quick KO off the edge onto the midfielder, but watch out for the core speed. It's Kione here with the primary, managing to defend the midfield as well. Missed strike, but a hit secondary is good enough, and if they can get damage on Vicblade, maybe they can turn this one around, but Vicblade not being targeted at all, allowed to regen, but maybe the core control is what they need to take the barrier. Look for a little bit more, but Vicblade's pushing forward. You gotta watch out. Bottom side, Molten Bolt, Captain Yes pushing forward. Xenox on the defense for now, as Murat tries to build up a flip, but you let the core slip by one last time as Chikara Clinkers clean up the game.
Yeah, and Vicblade with a nice bull rush just to secure it, and forcing Fox and Sox to either try to do a risky clear out of it, or the evade strike to get it through, and just what did not have the timing.
Absolutely. As this game finishes up, it was a valiant effort by Chikara Kittens, but Chikara Clinkers knew what they were going into, knew what was happening, and I think that was the difference, because Chikara Kittens, they had some good outplays, but the fact that they needed those good outplays really came back to bite them.
Yeah, your win condition should never be wait for the enemy team to make a mistake. You need to have those setups. You need to have a game plan. You need to have a plan of attack. And I think Chikara Kittens did have a plan of attack. They just did not have a plan of defense, because most of that was all three members of Kittens trying to save the point, save the barrier, which just allowed Clinkers to have all the aggression, have all the pressure, and really Keone had everything they needed for defense, but it never really felt like they needed all that much, because they just weren't getting pressured.
Well, pretty close 3-0 all things considered for our first game, but we'll be right back in just a bit for our second round, where the records need to be separating, and we'll have a better picture of who's gonna make it through to the bracket stage of this finale. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Hello everyone, and we're back with a banger of a matchup. Pool 1 featuring Chikara Redemption and Seraphim Crimson. Two of the longest standing players in OSAS history will be in this game, and we'll see if one of them can finally graduate. Both these teams 1-0, not doing bad at all, but they will have to do a lot more in the day to move on.
Yeah, and like you said, kind of two of the longest running members of OSAS in this game. Also, Tales Oldest Time, we have a Chikara versus Seraphim matchup going on, so it's going to be brutal. It's going to be bloody. I'm looking forward to this. And it looks like we have AtLab, and I believe the starting awakenings are a Timeless and Fighter Flight. Two, I think, really interesting ones that are going to sway the character choices here.
Yeah, two very powerful awakenings on the characters they're good at, but Fighter Flight is definitely the one that is really, really game warping. Everyone's going to be so much faster, especially when they have possession. And I think that's a Luna goalie coming out from Yugo. We'll see if that pressure can do it.
We do know Yugo loves that Luna goalie, loves getting those cheeky little Luna dash-in snipes. But also, if they can get set up for it, a lot of damage coming out from that Luna, especially on a map like AtLab.
Yeah, the damage with the Zentaro, Rasmus, and Luna is going to be off the charts as Stefank. Interesting Rasmus midfield here, but with Maxwell's and Fighter Flight, the mobility is going to be quite good as well. But Kurikan, the one being brought very low, you can't underestimate the damage coming out, and Yugo, barely sends it around the barrier and own barriers a little bit as well. But Stefank is on the prowl, finds the barrier, and this game is the pace is ridiculous. This game.
This is such a like I said, this is gonna be a battle. This is gonna be a brawl. We already see a lot of damage going out in Kurikan on that Zentaro. Yeah, they have a lot of low stagger, but feels like Chikara Redemption is just kind of like targeting them as soon as they take just the smallest amount of damage.
It's all in the coordination here as Kurikan looking for an individual outplay, but getting taken out again, chipped down so incredibly quickly as the pull doesn't do quite enough, and the Julie dashes enough to send it past, but a weird misposition on the edge from Perfect Curves means that Stefank is the one who sets up the KO with just a single pendulum swing, but is also brought low, and now this crater dangerous, but Mike Mart sends it away. Yugo barely catches it in time, and now Stefank's the one building up so much energy. This flip could be absolutely huge here, but it's still a few strikes away.
Yeah, but we are seeing Kurikan taking a lot of damage. Again, no evade to get out of this if they get caught kind of in a compromising position. And an almost unfortunate bounce for Redemption, but Mike Mart able to save it, but Crimson able to send it back, and Kurikan able to send it to that top just out of Mike Mart's reach.
Drop placement good as ever from Kurikan, who has been the star player of Seraphim Crimson by far. This individual has appeared and been the brawler to watch out for in the entirety of OSAS, and we're seeing it right here. Scoring efficiency, both barriers going down, a flick to the top side even, and setting up to Funk on the interception down to the bottom side. What a brilliant play by Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, and I believe we casted a Seraphim Crimson game week 2 when they qualified. I don't know if it's brackets or Swiss, but I do remember making the comment that Crimson's whole win con is get it to Kurikan. Get to Kurikan up front, and Kurikan will make something happen. And like we saw last point, she gets it done. Brawlers get it done. Gets one barrier right there. Send it up to Stefank to try to get that second one. And trying to keep that pressure going forward, but Mike Mart able to push it out using Asher to what Asher's good at.
Oh, you got to be careful though if you're Stefank. And Kurikan struggle a little bit in the Asher matchup, usually seen on the Asher character. But the Asher goalie is doing a very good job of stuffing out the Zentaro. Mike Mart, no stranger to the Omega Strikers Amateur Series. But Perfect Curves, a bit of a stranger to that black hole. They're about to go down.
Yeah, does have to fall back to pick up that health orb and get out of that Luna ult. But yeah, like you're saying, Mike Mart showing just why Asher is really strong, especially on AtLab, with kind of an unfortunate positioning there against Stefank. Usually pretty good at denying those pockets, which most forwards love to attack.
Grant, though, missed a huge opportunity with that flip. Dribbled it on the bottom side right into Yugo's hands. Well, again, a missed opportunity. These dribbles are just not clean enough from Grant attack. and that just sets up Kurikan for a simple strike war to the bottom side. It's a bit of a difference in the brawler efficiency in this first set.
Yeah, Grand Attack really good, especially on that Julia fighting those KOs. But like you're saying, those dribbles need to be a little bit tighter if you're going for those kind of like quick dash shots.
Yeah, and this draft is a little bit scary. That 1-2 punch is what I'm looking at here. Maybe a potential denial might be good, as Stagger Swagger instead picked up. And Grand Attack, the one thing that he has really shown through on so far this game is the KOs, and they're going to get even more deadly.
Yeah, and we do have Luna picking up the unstoppable. Good matchup, especially when you're going against a Julie forward, preventing those stuffing plays. But gonna see if Grand Attack and Perfect Curves can kind of use that teamwork to get the forward pressure going. Like we said, it's just been a very quick match, and a lot of these barriers on the side of Crimson are just kind of going down just because the core just gets going in 100 different directions.
Yugo, though, underrated pickup in the draft. Definitely that unstoppable. Gonna make it a lot easier to deal with the Juliet and the Estelle. And a great rocket to save it, but Perfect Curves wins the strike war afterwards. And Yugo had the right timing, but the angle wasn't good enough. Needs to lock in those vertical angles as Grand Attack capitalizes.
Yeah, the unstoppable doing what it's meant to. It stopped that hit stun, but yeah, like you were saying, just didn't have a sharp enough angle, and Grand Attack's Julie Punch was able to just force that core in.
Still, though, Seraphim Crimson need to find their way back onto the offense, but that 1-2 punch Juliet is back, and that might be the difference maker here. Kurikan, though, finding a barrier, and Perfect Curves barely missing as Kurikan goes in, finds 2 barriers, looking for even more, looking for the entire goal at this point. But the flip, an awkward spot, but a good strike war by Yugo will get it past and not let 2 barriers go down. Still needs to be careful, though, because Perfect Curves is looking for a snipe, but so far the defense is coming through. No, a bit of a caster curse as both barriers go down.
Yeah, and Perfect Curves, we know Curves really comfortable on the rune, but not a stranger on Estelle, able to play that midfield role, but also when they need to be aggressive and get those barriers, does have a lot of finesse, a lot of scoring combo potential.
Yugo and Tafong looking for a passing play, but Perfect Curves interrupts in Kurikan's hands, dribbling it around the pass splitter, but can't get the primary in the very end. Dangerous spot with core speed for the Luna now, as the Crater goes through a little bit of chip onto Perfect Curves, but that primary sending the core really fast as Tafong tries to set up. Not quite enough. Yugo, good pass forward, and Yugo stays out for the second strike. Big improvement from Yugo to even up this set.
And if you're going to do that eject button goalie, that's what you need to do. Use that eject button, dash in there, get the strike, stay in there to return it back. Because as soon as that happened, we saw Curves push a little forward. They thought Grand Attack was going to be able to clear it out, and they were going to be able to make a play. And Hugo just staying there kind of caught Redemption off guard there.
The barriers going down is tough, but again, it's tough to defend as a Luna against an Estelle. But the offensive pressure is being kept up. Good elusive from Mike Mart to not take too much damage as the core trapped by the pass splitter. Kurikan finds a snipe around Perfect Curves, who is not long for this world. Could get flipped off. A flip by Kurikan, stuffed away by the barrier beam of Mike Mart. As the Fonk on the top side looks for a little bit more, but a good strike by Mike Mart. Yugo staying out, goes back, finds the flip. Good timing on the defense by Yugo to make sure that goal didn't slip away, and Fonk will convert on the other side.
Yeah, and just a lot of damage stacking up, especially on Curves, kind of preventing them to moving towards that midfield role, kind of forced to stay in that goal box. But Curves not afraid to like stick around, even if they are staggered, to help their goalie out, to try to just get those clears at the risk of possibly getting KO'd. But as we say KO, Redemption getting a double.
But Yugo, though, keeping this point alive, getting a barrier even, and Kurikan is back. If they can find one pass, they can maybe get it out of the situation, as the Unstoppable does so much work for Yugo, prevents the dash punch from scoring, and Kurikan and Tafong are well and truly back in the game. Looking for a little bit more here, but the flamethrower is a little bit scary. Perfect Curves had a shot, but dribbled instead. What was that?
I think they were trying to go for a pass and just kind of didn't get the mouse around quick enough, didn't get the shot around quick enough to go for a straight shot, but Hugo just getting just out of position, not able to catch up as Grand Attack just send it around and the core just floats in and Redemption tying this set up.
Redemption, getting redemption for what happened in the middle of that point. We'll see if they can close out this set, bring this game to a tie for the moment. All it takes is one setup here as a core goes around but doesn't find a barrier. Good follow-up by Perfect Curves, but needs to be careful of the damage.
Yeah, and Curves did take stacks on stacks on that last draft, but they are only up to 24 now just because of all that damage, getting KO'd, resetting those stacks. He really should kind of focus on staying alive. I know he loves playing that aggressive style, but if you want to get full value out of those awakenings, you kind of need to survive.
Dangerous spot for Hugo as the barriers are down, the unstoppable coming back, and this flip being built up might be huge. A really tough spot is the dash punch flip actually, and a strike war win by Grand Attack, finding it right through the defensive attempt from Kurikan, and Chikara Redemption tying up the game here.
And I don't know how many times I have to say it. If there's a KO to be found, Grand Attack will find it, and getting the KO on Hugo was huge there. Noticing that the unstop was broken out does put him up in the first pick of this draft. Looks like they're going to grab the Demolitionist. That is kind of a scary. I was guessing Missile Prop or Extra Special going to Luna here.
Yeah, I'm noticing that the Luna draft's looking quite good. Extra Special going to be huge in terms of offensive presence, and the awakenings in general in this draft are pretty plentiful. So no one really getting anything bad here. Peak Performance, a great awakening on this patch as well. So as long as Seraphim Crimson can avoid getting dash punched, I think they have the tools they need.
Yeah, although you have that Juliet, you have Grand Attack with that 1-2 punch, fight or flight, demo, pummelers. Unfortunate Sad Boys angles, but Grand Attack, if there's a KO to be found, will find it. But I think you were 100% right. Crimson needs to avoid those and keep from losing that striker advantage.
Dangerous spot, Kurikan, double barrier looking for here, but Mike Bart a Perfect Curves jumping in on the defense. Will it prevent that? A weird dribble by Grand Attack, kind of autopiloting here right into the hands of Tefong, and Kurikan converts, but the bait is there. Grand Attack gets the KO, exactly what they're known for here, and a pure strike war win, a mind game in the goal box as Chikara Redemption get a point.
That's a beautiful mind game. You love to see it, and it's basically just a classic game of chicken. Who flinches first? And actually in that, it was who just doesn't flinch, because Hugo trying to wait out as long as possible, waited a little bit too long.
Well, dangerous spot here for Kurikan, staying alive but losing a ton of stagger, trying to push forward. But again, Mike Mart really using the tools that this Asher goalie has to make Kurikan's life very difficult. Zentaro, not the realest of offenses.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zentaro falling back at the midfield. Zentaro does not have the dash range yet, which Zentaro loves, so they can make those kind of quick plays and be a bit more effective with those dashes. But Kurikan taking a lot of damage, although we see the KO out of coming to Defunk as Redemption makes a power play and gets the point.
Good passing play at the end too. Mike Bart didn't go for a direct shot, just passed it up for a better angle from Perfect Curves. And Chikara Redemption, they're really just making the most out of these dash punches, and the fact that this Asher goalie is really shutting down Kurikan. A double barrier from the flip from Grand Attack. What a flip to really turn this game in their favor to try and 3-0 this set as Kurikan almost gets taken out. Has the flip, needs to make the most of this flip, but it's such a dangerous spot.
Yeah, Grand Attack looking a little low, getting a little too close to that black hole, but almost just doesn't have the speed to call out Hugo on that missed dash.
Oh, and Hugo doesn't lock in the vertical clear, hits it back into the primary of Perfect Curves, and Chikara Redemption now have a set lead.
And I think that's exactly what they need. Get Julie up in that forward position. Julie has so many options here. Looks like their Grand Attack is hovering the knife's edge, but there's the Adrenaline Rush. Looks like Curves is looking at that twin drive on Estelle. More of those blinks, just more pressure, more ability usage coming out of the midfield.
I think twin drive might be a bit of a mistake. I think Hotshot would have been far better, but I guess Hotshot, they're saving it for Mike Mart to try and get infinite primaries pretty much. That defensive barrier beam is going to be quite ridiculous here. And now I see their strategy in the draft. They were trying to make sure Rapid Fire or Hotshot got to Mike Mart because they noticed that Mike Mart was completely walling Kurikan, and now Mike Mart's going to be able to do that even more.
Yeah, but Kurikan does pick up that ever-elusive EE on Centauro. More damage, more dash range. but Kirikin trying to like push it through that corner, and that's not how you get through Asher. You kind of just have to like hit it around her. Now that you have the dash range, you can effectively do a self pass if you preserve your dash.
Kind of makes me think that maybe Seraphim Crimson should have prioritized getting the Asher for themselves. I think they, I don't know. Mike Mart is looking so good on this pick, and it's a pick that Kurikan has looked so good on. I think Chikara Redemption have entered this game, even in just the character select phase, with a clear game plan, and it's working.
Yeah, and Asher just, especially on this map, any map that has like smaller barriers, has those pockets, is good goalie, good forward, really strong in those positions. And as we see, just kind of a scuff of the midfield, a scrap at the midfield, but Redemption able to sink that in, and they are on match point here.
All it takes is one more. One good point from Mike Mart on defense. Kurikan needing to find an opportunity, but it's just stolen away in the midfield, and now needs to desperately try and rush forward. But the dash punch is always a threat you have to watch out for. Kurikan doesn't get caught that time, but the barriers are slowly going down on the side of Seraphim Crimson, and a flip attempted to open space is blocked away by Perfect Curves, who occupies that space instantly. Kurikan now looking for some double barrier action, slows down the play, looks for the follow-up, but it's not enough. The double defense is good and the barrier taken, and Seraphim Crimson now in so much trouble. Mike Mart flip available, defense or offense. Pick of the litter still, but it's defended away by Seraphim Crimson, maybe staying alive for a little while longer.
Yeah, and almost an unfortunate black hole pop there, taking the barrier, but Redemption able to clear it out. Hugo able to save that with a nicely timed Luna dash, but has nothing to challenge a Julie ult in the face, and Redemption secures, going 2-0, I believe.
Yep, 2-0 at the moment. Seraphim Crimson dropping down to 1-1. Big win for Chikara Redemption. And if they play like how we just saw, I think they'll go far. They'll probably be making it the bracket if they play like that. What a solid performance. What a solid game plan.
Yeah, Redemption looked a little shaky that first set, but they got the awakenings they needed, that they wanted, and found their win condition of basically getting away from Kurikan. We were talking, I referenced week 2 when we were casting a Crimson match, and it seemed like if Crimson could just get it to Kurikan, then she'll score, she'll get it done. But going against an Asher goalie in AtLab, I think they needed to work more on like control and getting Kurikan and Tafunk up there to be able to pass it around, because Asher's going to be able to hold it. If they're not getting it through you, they're going to stall you long enough for Perfect Curves to come back with the Estelle and help on those defensive plays. And we kind of saw that going in, as Kurikan and Tafunk just could not make secure those goals that we saw in that first set.
Yeah, really tough, but it is what it is. We're going to move on to round 3 before long. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be right back. Hello everyone, we're back with round 3, Senko's Beloved Loafs versus Chikara Girls, and I know that you're not too familiar with the Loafs, but what can you tell me about the Chikara team?
I know Chikara Girls, we've gone up against them before under a couple different names. I've actually helped scrim a few times this OSAS, and we know Shadow loves those Aimi. Aimi plays, kind of notoriously known for a Aimi brawler, Aimi forward playstyle. But this season picking up Zentaro, and I think I've seen a little bit of Kai come out. So kind of expanding their pool a little bit. And it'll be interesting to see what these bans are. If they try to ban out that Aimi forward, or if they target maybe the Juno midfield or the Atlas goalie, or ban the Atlas, take the Mako. But does look like Senko is banning the Zentaro, and a Finny ban coming out for the side of girls.
It's a very crucial game for both these teams, right? 1-1 is an awkward spot to be in. You really need to start winning here, because if you slip into the 3 losses, then it's pretty much over. But 2 losses still manageable, but it's still really so hard. Like, you would much rather be 2-1.
Yeah, just kind of having that safety net. It's really part of the more winning the mental, because if you lose this, yeah, you can still qualify, but you have to lock in and win your next 3 games to really have a chance. And just kind of going in with that stress, if you lose this and knowing you can't lose another one, can really mess with your mental and your whole play style. But winning this, kind of getting that little bit of leeway to relax, like, okay, we can stay calm, play the games we've been playing.
Well, these comps are a little bit interesting, but my eyes are on that Juno character. Arkmeister has a lot of agency, especially against the goalie, right? Luna not the best at dealing with Juno.
Yeah, Luna, well, we kind of saw it with Steph from Crimson last match. Luna goalie can be really impressive, and if B-Knight can find those clears and effective uses of their abilities, then they can actually have a lot of forward pressure. But it's going to be difficult with that Juno once they get their abilities up and start dropping those Blavos.
Same can be said about the Kai Barrage as well, something that Lunas do struggle to deal with. It requires very, very precise body blocking to reliably get away from. But again, the win condition of Senko's Beloved Loaf seems to be the damage, and Arkmeister already getting pretty low.
Yeah, Cholesterol really seeing that blood in the water on Arkmeister. Juno getting a little bit low, but unfortunately they just don't have the abilities up to get them staggered, get that confirmed. Speaking of staggered, Arkmeister returning the favor, and Chikara Girls returning the favor tenfold and getting the KO on Cholesterol.
Flip available from Babao, confirming it into the top side. Well placed with the goal gates opening up, and despite the deficit in player count, Senko's Beloved Loaf strike first.
Yeah, and that seems like this just going to be their game plan, is once they can get their damage up, now that they have a level 2 Kazan, so Kazan's a real character at this point, they're going to have more abilities to try to get it around this Mako goalie. Mako notoriously known for being able to lock it down, but also it looks like Cholesterol really wants Arkmeister out of this game.
Yeah, but Arkmeister does survive this time, does thrive even, and is looking to pressure these barriers as the crossfire comes in from the strikes. And wow, just constantly following up with the size. It's Chikara Girls leaving it right back up.
Yeah, and that was just kind of the being well positioned on the side of Shadow with that Kai, seeing just a line of Blabos there covering the middle clear that Babao just didn't really have any choice but to send it down to the Kai, or send it back up and have B-Knight try to strike for Arkmeister up top.
Well, Godzilla not able to get it out of the corner. Really tough in that lab. A creative clear though, but Arkmeister not quite there to help Godzilla get it out. There were a few clears available in that awkward spot, and it really needed some midfield help.
Yeah, and a little bit of misplay on B-Knight. They dashed in, they got the strike in. And they stuck around a little bit, but I felt like they eject button back a little too soon, especially since they're holding eject button, which they use there defensively. But yeah, just did not get punished for it, and Senko's Beloved Loafs able to get it up to 2-1 this point.
This time, though, Shikara Girl's the one with the open net on the other end. Sengo's beloved Loves need to watch out on the defense, trying to find some offense here with the flip perhaps. So, strike missed by Godzilla, but a passing play through the shadow. But no, not quite enough. A good snipe by B-Knight to get it out of there. But B-Knight in a tough spot. Good barrage to cover the easier clear. And that will be Shadow finding the goal to even it up.
Yeah, Shadow looking very comfortable on this Kai. Kind of like what I said leading into this. Very comfortable with the Aimi, kind of known for their Aimi pick. But Bao taking the Aimi away and kind of forcing Shadow to this Kai. But they have been positioning very well. Really good ability usage once they can kind of get the core going in the direction that they want.
Godzilla, good snipe for one barrier. Looking for some more. But so far, I think Arcmeister has not had too much presence. I expected a lot from the Juno coming in, and we haven't really seen it so far. So Arcmeister needs to find a way to get more involved in the play, because if they don't, it will just be Babao, Cholesterol, and B-Knight collapsing for yet another goal. Senko's beloved Loafs win the first set.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. Babao getting the first pick this draft, but Arcmeister, not a lot of presence, not a lot of effective usage of all those Juno abilities, and yeah, just kind of struggling to get it forward and getting Shadow set up for what they need to score, as we see a Catalyst pickup on the bow.
Twin drive as well, an incredibly strong awakening on the Luna, giving a lot more offensive and defensive flexibility, just more presence on the map. And overall, the draft really fallen into the favor of Senko's beloved Loaves. But if these sets go long, then there is a chance that stacks on stacks could mean that the Kai takes over the game.
Yeah, it could very much just be speed being the win con on the side of Chikara Girls. Little unfortunate that Godzilla did have to deny the spark from falling down to B-Knight, picking up that stagger, but they do have Big Fish. They do have that spark of stagger. If they pick up something like Peak Performance, get that basically double stagger awakening boost and get that speed boost, we might be able to see them making a lot more effective defensive plays.
Oh, a bit of a sad boys angle. Cholesterol not able to get the barrier this time as the Kai approaches Shadow. Top corner, B-Knight doesn't get the strike after the dash in time. And Chikara Girls first on the board. If they could play like that, that could turn the game around.
Yeah, and if they can play like that, yes, I think they can really turn something around, but that previous point is still kind of an issue of Arcmeister doesn't have that much presence. Yeah, we see them help get that barrier down with the Juno primary, but they're not too effective helping on the defensive play once Chikara Girls...
B-Knight, why'd you eject back? Oh.
Do you want to take it from there?
It's the Diamond to Luna thing where you instinctively press eject button when you shouldn't. Like, you had the defense, you had the flip, you could have saved the goal, but now Chikara Girls who have the presence.
Yeah, at least they didn't burn flip in it if you're going to look at some kind of silver lining, but we do see two flips on the side of Senko's beloved Loaves. But yeah, B-Knight is going to have to lock in and really not panic, which is kind of hard to do as a Luna goalie once the core is in your goal box.
Well, Cholesterol trying to find some offense quickly. Flip available top side, and the coverage isn't there from Chikara Girls. Really, really good with the flips, I think, Senko's beloved Loaves. They've had very good accuracy whenever they have it onto the net.
Yeah, once Senko's beloved Loaves can kind of get that forward pressure going, they can make a lot happen real quick. Very effective ability usage. Kazan being able to get it around a lot of these Mako clears, which a lot of forwards kind of struggle with. But also, Chikara Girls kind of not there defensively. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of that mental synergy, that mental sync up that you kind of need between your goalie and midfield, and just a lot of miscommunications as we see there of Arcmeister trying to tank that Aimi turret, but Godzilla still sending it down into that pocket and allowing Cholesterol to Kazan ult to just secure the goal there.
Senko's beloved Loaves have turned this around real quick, looking for one barrier, looking for two, but a good strike war by Arcmeister trying to push up into the corner, finds the top barrier. Well played with the slime redirects there, but that bottom barrier still standing is a little bit difficult for the side of Chikara girls to get it out of there. But Arcmeister into the hands of Cholesterol needs to work on the clear angles because right now Cholesterol is getting rebound after rebound.
Yeah, and we're definitely kind of seeing Chikara girls. You can tell the playstyle they went. They want to get out there and just have Shadow, just keep it forward with that Kai. B-Knight up there with the flip, waits out the eject button. Can they make something happen? Does use the secondary to get back in position just in case anything bad does happen.
But that's 2 charges of secondary burned. If Chikara girls advance on the offense fast enough, that could be their goal, as B-Knight has the secondary back now and will defend here. Shadow going for a play. Giga Blast. The flip having Aimi off, and that's a huge swing in terms of momentum as B-Knight clears into the corner way too early. Arcmeister, easy coverage, and Chikara girls even up the sets.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that Chikara girls need. They need to get that pressure going, but that KO on Babao was so crucial. It basically burned their flip. They got KO'd holding a flip, which you never want to have happen, and that does put Shadow up front to grab the 1-2 over the Chrono Boost. Chrono Boost, Egoist, Missile Prop. I'm kind of surprised with the 1-2 pickup.
Yeah, why would you take 1-2 here? All you're doing is denying your own Juno. Like, dash range is good and all, but who are you denying with the 1-2 punch? I guess Kazan, but Kazan has so many choices in this draft anyway.
Yeah, I don't really think it's really worth at that point. Are they just kind of scared that the damage is just going to be too much for them? Yeah, there was a lot there for Kai, and I don't think 1-2 was the pickup.
Yeah, definitely a weird draft, and that might let Sengo's Beloved Loafs really take over this game because they had some very strong pickups. B-Knight rushing forwards, a lot of patience on the eject button this time. But Babao and Cholesterol, a bit of a weird passing play, and Arcmeister capitalizes on that hesitation, a barrier taken in open net.
And I was so thrown off by the 1-2 pickup by Shadow, I completely overlooked. Babao has Catalyst Egoist on that Aimi pickup. They're going to be building up that elusive, using flip. They don't really need to be conservative. They're going to get it back in like 10 seconds anyways, and then they're going to get a speed boost from it.
Oh, but B-Knight is striking way too early. We saw it in the previous set, and we see it again on the top side. As a goalie, the one thing that you should not do is strike early when they're like way ahead of you. You know, like if you're on top of each other and you can get around them and you can strike it early so it gets out of their strike box, yeah. But if you strike early into them, that's a huge problem. And if you dive into the wall, a great snipe by Shadow immediately capitalizes, creates a power play, and now the offense can begin, but trying to brute force strike wars. And Babao defends adequately here, but 2 barriers taken by an amazing snipe by Godzilla.
Yeah, just an unfortunate KO. B-Knight kind of risking a little too much with these dashes, trying to like get to the core before Kai gets KO'd for it, and tries to dash to clear the core before Arcmeister can get to it, but kind of throws themselves out of position. And B-Knight with the pass.
Yeah, as Sengo's Beloved Loafs, they need to find their footing on the defense because their offense has been very solid, especially with the flips, but right now they're kind of stumbling in terms of not giving these barriers up. Slimes are coming online as well from Arcmeister. Babao this time rushing forward, has the Catalyst Egoist, needs to make use of this flip as soon as possible, try and take the barrier first, but again, the brute forcing strike wars doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, I don't care what striker you are, even Asher, notoriously good at stuffing it through, struggles stuffing it through a Mako, just so much defensive power. But Babao with a wonderful flip and beautiful angle, the goal gate's not even fully open, able to bank that in right behind Godzilla there.
Sengo's Beloved Loafs, when they use the flip, they know exactly what to do. Might be the best team that we've seen today at utilizing that flip, but it goes around the barrier, a bit of a sad boy's angle, but maybe a blessing as it sets up for 2 attempts on each barrier. Well played by Sengo's Beloved Loafs to capitalize, and now they should be able to transition into offense here. Dangerous spot, but a good rocket nullifies the slime, and B-Knight's looking very comfortable at that range.
Yeah, and we kind of allude to it at the start of the set. Sengo's Beloved Lows were kind of their own worst enemy. They were struggling. They were like panicking. You mentioned it, B-Knight just striking way too early, but it seems like they've calmed down. They've regathered their rhythm. Cholesterol with the spread out. I assume it's all in good fun. They're finding the rhythm and finding what they need. And now we see, you know what, with a Catalyst Egoist on Babao, 3 flips on the side of Sengo's Beloved Loafs.
3 flips available, but they need to make use of them before they get scored on. It's a 2-2 situation. Good flip timing by B-Knight. A good flip timing by Babao, but still, that was a really wasted opportunity there, it feels like. But Cholesterol maintaining possession after the flip is huge. Well played by the Brawler, and Babao will capitalize. Cholesterol, that was expert. Just making sure the core didn't slip away.
That was actually such a well played move on both Cholesterol and Babao. Both of them getting stuck in the Mako jail, but Babao with the blink, Kazan just jumping out of it, able to collapse in and get that goal. And now we see hot shot deny from the Juno, not going to be able to grab that.
Still plenty of solid awakenings, right? But you got to watch out for those sparks denied away by Godzilla. And that size on the Kazan on Cholesterol is going to be really huge, because Cholesterol so far hasn't had the flashy flips of Babao, but has been the backbone of this team, making sure that the core doesn't get to the other side too often and that the offense is maintained. And with double size, this Kazan's going to have so many hitboxes that are half the field.
Yeah, this Kazan's going to have so much more control that they've already had, and so much more killing potential as we see Shadow just kind of getting bullied by Cholesterol off the map.
B-Knight on the assist, trying to find another barrier now. Cholesterol and Babao moving forward. A rocket as well. B-Knight mixes everyone up there. Finds another barrier and is stepping up to try and find a strike. A flip to the top corner. A rare miss by Senko's beloved Loaves. But since Babao has Catalyst Egoist, that flip's going to be built up really quickly. Maybe in the same round here.
Yeah, I mean, they're already 2/3 of the way able to get it. I can almost guarantee you, as long as Babao doesn't get targeted and ability dumped, they're going to have that flip. And I'm calling it here. Babao gets flipped, takes both barriers. Calling it.
Yeah, and I think denying the 1-2 punch again instead of the Egoist for the Catalyst Egoist combo really coming back to bite Chikara Girls, because Babao just got handed an insane 2 awakening win condition on a silver platter, but maybe they can score on this Luna fast enough to nullify all of that. But Cholesterol is just so massive, so easy for Cholesterol to win in the midfield.
Yeah, and we said it, about to get flipped. Both barriers down. B-Knight sniping in, doesn't stick around long enough. They could have tried to catch it, but that would have been a risky play as well. So,
oh, but B-Knight and Babao both don't expect the Giga Blast. They both could have flipped that one and saved the goal for the moment, but it's instead a little bit of respite for Chikara Girls, a little bit of a way back into the game, but it's still a long road ahead.
Yeah, there was that one set. What a beautiful flip KO from Babao, and again, already have their build. Double KO on the side of Seiko Beloved Loaves, getting the barrier, and everything is going for Beloved Loaves right now.
The Loaves are back in it. B-Knight dashing back, missing the core though. And oh, that was dangerous. That could have been Shadow turning it around. That could be the Juno turning it around. Arkmeister, the Slime, and Senko's Beloved Loaves. They had everything. They had the 3v1, but they fumble on the defense.
Senko Beloved Loaves is their own worst enemy at this point. They have so many things going for them, and when they are locked in and they're playing the game they want to play, they have so much control, so much pressure, but as soon as they get nervous, get a little antsy, get a little anxious, feel like they need to make a 3-person push when it's a 3v1 already, they just kind of get caught off guard.
One more chance, though, to keep this set going. Cholesterol's incredibly low, though. Needs to be careful here. And regen's back to unstagger, but that's 2 barriers already down. Cholesterol needs to be the hero. Needs to find the dribbles, needs to find the strikes, but the second strike isn't there in time. And B-Knight barely manages to save that one, but the dashes have been a little bit off target. A strike war win from Shadow. Good clear by B-Knight. Instinctually sending it away from the Kai, and Cholesterol now trying to find some offensive presence yet again. It's flipped away by Godzilla. The timing mix up on the Slime is perfect. Another Slime, another push in as B-Knight sends it away, but it's such a dangerous spot. Shadow approaching, a clear found, a Giga Blast for the rebound, a Slime for the rebound, and yet again Senko's Beloved Loaves don't cover Arkmeister.
And such a good, like, forward aggressive push on Chikara Girls on that set, or on that final point there. That entire set was Senko's Beloved Loaves just kind of getting antsy, getting anxious, but that last point was Chikara Girls playing incredibly effective as a team and collapsing in and cutting all those clears. But we do see Arkmeister picking up that fight or flight. And we actually see the Spark going towards B Knight over the Deadeye. Looks like they're looking to build up a little bit of speed with their Spark of Strength over dealing some damage.
Yeah, I think it's both the deny as well, because you get like mini Deadeye with the 2 Spark of Power, and make sure that Godzilla doesn't get triple Spark with Focus and Agility. That would be a super goalie, but it is Shadow who is the player to watch, because Shadow is just spearheading this offense and distracting Sengo's beloved Loaves so that Arcmeister can follow up, but this time it's Shadow themselves taking it in with the barrage.
Yeah, Shadow just very comfortable as a forward in the enemy goal box. And especially when you have a Kai 1v1ing a Luna in the goal box, Kai just has so much going for them. It's hard for Luna to defend.
Babao, though, needs to find a flip, needs to find the energy buildup, and needs to convert quick enough, because Cholesterol kind of forced into a bit of a midfield role here. And I think that could help Sengo's beloved Lows, but that isn't going to help. A Sad Boy's angle turned into a bit of a tragedy as it's capitalized on by Shadow. And B-Knight, you're not pushing up into the corner enough. You're giving Shadow so many chances. But this time it is defended. Cholesterol on the top side now trying to maintain possession. They find the barrier. They need to keep it forward. They can't let it slip back to Shadow. As the center explodes, it's not quite enough. A flip by Godzilla away. And now a dangerous spot with the Slimes.
Yeah, B-Knight able to clear past all those times and able to find a kill on Shadow. And this is where B-Knight needs to lock it in. They have flip, they have the dash, and able to snipe it right in front of that Mako without burning their core flip. And that's what Senko's beloved Loves needs to do. They need to remain calm and really, like, honestly, save these barriers, because once Shadow gets the core, it's just so much harder for B-Knight to defend an open goal.
Oh, and a really good slime redirect from Arcmeister actually keeps the core in possession, but it's actually a barrier taken on the other end thanks to a crazy bounce along the curvature of the black hole. Energy burst coming online soon for Babao and Cholesterol, collapsing onto barrier. Big opportunity for Sengo's beloved Loaves if they can maintain possession and keep it away from Shadow here.
Yeah, and B-Knight dashing in, sticking around, seeing if Babao could get it to them while they're up there. Not able to eject button back, but Babao is able to get a Cholesterol, and a Kazan crooked lever brings it down and able to send it where Mako cannot reach it.
Might be doomsday for Chikara Girls. That's 2 flips coming up for Sengo's beloved Loaves. If there's one thing they could do, it's flip. Looking for the barrier here, but an early flip. It works anyway. Sending it right through with the help of the crater. Good layering of abilities there, but a weird clear by B-Knight. Uh-oh. You gotta be careful if Shadow's in the vicinity. But so much damage onto Shadow. A KO would be huge here. Maybe they don't even need it.
Yeah, honestly, I think Senko beloved Loves, save your ability usage, maybe keep Shadow staggered, or just score immediately. B-Knight, wonderful blink in.
Senko's beloved Loaves, bit of a messy game, but you know, all that matters is the result in the end. 3-2, a win on the board, moving on to the 2-1 winning record, and on track to try and make it out of this group.
Yeah, Senko beloved Loaves, they were very hit or miss that entire game. It's like when they were playing the game they wanted to play, when they had the control, had the flips, and weren't really pressured, they remained calm and they were able to get so much stuff done. But as soon as one misstep happened, it seemed like it would just snowball for them. So being able to give up the point, say, okay, you know what, that's kind of on us. We made some misplays. Let it go and get back to the game you want to play.
Absolutely. As that game finishes up, we're going to move on to round 4 before too long. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. we're back, and Senko's beloved loaves are back, looking for another win here, but they're against Chikara Redemption this time, who is looking good at 3-0.
Yeah, and we're sending it back to AtLab. Is this the third AtLab in a row? We've had one Taiko match, I believe.
Yep.
But yeah, just AtLab, very popular amongst these OSAS teams. But we do see a rapid fire and missile prop start. And kind of see a double hover on the Kai here.
Yeah, the Kai looking to be a bit of a priority here. I wonder where it'll go, second pick or third pick. But Babao, once again, on that Aimi.
Yeah, Babao loves the Aimi. Was able to get good use out of it last game, but they did have Catalyst Egoist. Let's see if Redemption is sharp enough to deny that from happening again. And I'm guessing we're seeing a Grant attack on the Julie and Perfect Curves on the Rune. Two really comfort picks for these two players. And yeah, Senko's Beloved Low is really prioritizing banning out Mike Mark's Dubu.
Babao and Cholesterol going to be the scoring duo once again, looking like a pretty similar game for them. But that Rune is really the X factor in this game. And of course, Mike Mart back on the Asher. We saw how good it was against Seraphim Crimson, and we might see that yet again.
Yep, and we see rapid fire pickups all around. They want those primaries. They want that ability usage. They want those cooldowns low. And so, going to be seeing hopefully a lot of interesting plays and mix-up with all this cooldown reduction across the board.
Mike Mart in a bit of a dangerous spot though, because if there's one character that can really get around Asher, it is the Kazan. But Grand Attack already on the attack, finding a KO very quickly in this first point, and the offense being pushed forward.
Oh, and Mike Mart just kind of getting off guard, not paying attention to that black hole timer, does end up kind of getting own goal black hole self unlock. But I've said it before, I said it again, if there's a KO to be found, Grand Attack is going to find it.
Banish found, trying to buy a little bit of time, but Cholesterol steals away the core. Perfect Curves going in, but B-Knight unfazed, not panicking in the corner. Maybe panicking internally with that Aimi Shock emote, but calm and collected on the defense. Mike Mart as well, clearing it away, but Cholesterol maintaining possession. Grand Attack now, dash punching, but good defense by B-Knight, converts into a goal by Cholesterol.
Yeah, and Perfect Curves and Mike Mart, unfortunately, a little bit of miscommunication, kind of stacking on top of each other. And like you said, if there is a character that can get around an Asher goalie, Kazan is it. Just so many abilities. You can stuff them with your open primary. You can kind of like juke them out by striking and then crooked hooking it back to you to get them to bait out an ability and just hit it straight at them. So I think it's going to be a very, very forward game from both teams. Both teams really wanting to get their forward plays going.
And Mike Mart getting caught off guard, and again, I think that's the difference between last time we saw Mike Mart and this time. Senko's Beloved Loaves are playing around him very, very well, and also the Kazan is just a very good character at doing that.
Yeah, and I think Mike Mart is just kind of getting thrown off with the black hole there. A little bit of miscommunication with Curves and Grand Attack on that kickoff there with those pillars. But Grand Attack with a nice flip, getting the KO. Ooh. Perfect Curves popping that black hole, double KO power play on the side of Chikara Redemption. But B-Knight holds it.
B-Knight is being very patient on the defense here. Oh, finds the strike afterwards as well, flips it away. And despite a slight defensive misstrike, B-Knight still manages to hold on. And Chikara Redemption, bit of a catastrophe, a 3v1 gone the wrong way, as this point is still very, very doable for Senko's Beloved Loaves.
And Grand Attack has been getting a lot of KOs, but kind of staggered here, becoming a target for Senko's Beloved Loaves, but able to stay alive, but just not able to stay alive long enough.
Yeah.
A little bit of Caster's Curse.
Taken out at a bit of an inopportune moment here as Mike Mart, a late flip as the barrier falls. B-Knight now. Perfect Curve, self-pass, but can't find the strike. Has been missing quite a few strikes, unfortunately, in this point. And B-Knight is very aware of the rune pillars here. Grand Attack catches the core, but it's Babao who sends it forward, trying to send it up to Cholesterol. B-Knight now a passing play, Babao flip available, set up with a dribble, and Mike Mart can't get back down in time. Excellently played by Senko's Beloved Loaves, especially B-Knight, to hold on.
Yeah, B and I doing a solid job holding that on, but we said it last game. Senko Beloved Loafs is just so effective with their flips, and we see it right there with Babao sending it up top. It comes back to them, and they're able to use that flip to secure that goal. And at set point, no use saving it right there.
Fight or flight, what my eyes are on right now, but it's passed up so far. It's such a strong awakening in terms of mobility, but it's passed up in favor of size this time. And if it falls all the way down to B-Knight, B-Knight's going to have a lot of agency here. Might go for something else, though. Unstoppable's looking juicy. Arrow's looking juicy for that speed as well. But I can't believe Fight or Flight got passed up there.
Yeah, Fight or Flight and Unstoppable. Again, with Grand Tech being able to find a lot of these KOs, yeah, they haven't been able to, like, confirm anything when they get these power plays going. But a beautiful banish by Curves, able to get that barrier down. But I am kind of surprised neither Cholesterol or Babao picked up the Unstoppable.
Perfect Curves and Grand Attack now pushing on to find some offense here. And Grand Attack once again find the KOs, looking quite reliable in that department. Core being flung back once again as Grand Attack tries to set up, but it's being slowed down yet again. Senko's Beloved Loaf stalling out the power play.
Yeah, and kind of like I was saying, they're able to find these KOs, getting these power plays, but Chikara Redemption's just kind of struggling to position themselves in an effective way to, like, use that striker advantage to pass around the goalie and make something happen. And B-Knight doing a wonderful job just holding it down at every possible angle and just not giving an inch.
Mike Mart building up a lot of meter here, and a good dash punch by Grand Attack. But once again, the power play arrives, and once again, Senko's Beloved Loaves threatened despite that. Babao forcing out a flip from Mike Mart, already advantaged in this power play. Good clear by B-Knight, good timing, and the banish doesn't last long enough to get anything done as B-Knight and Babao try to rush forwards. A good drop back by B-Knight to not get caught by the dash punch. And once again, I'm saying once again because it's many times again, it's Senko's Beloved Loaf surviving the power play and coming out on top.
Senko Beloved Loaves is just so good with her positioning. B-Knight is locking it down. This is the B-Knight when Beloved Loaves were shining last match. This is the B-Knight we were seeing. Lock it down. That patience. And that patience is so crucial when you're going up against a rune, especially with rapid fire, because you never know when those players are going to pop out. But B-Knight locking it down, and really a lot of, like, forward plays happening on both sides. But this match is becoming a tale of two goalies. Mike Mart kind of struggling in some of these positions, getting caught off guard by the black hole a couple times, while B-Knight just remaining perfectly calm and collected this entire match.
Yeah, and it's so hard as Mike Mart, right? Because Cholesterol and Babao are playing so efficiently. Perfect Curves and Grand Attack, I think their individual plays have been good, right? The KOs, the individual pillars, but they're not playing well together in this match.
Yeah, you can see Curve setting up these really montage moment rune plays that he's kind of known for and he's actually really good at. But it's like you said, Senko Beloved Loaves is just working so much better as a unit than Chikara Redemption. They're playing Chikara Redemption playing as three good players, whereas Senko Beloved Loaves is playing as three good players on a good team.
Well, Cholesterol once again looking for an outplay, and Babao with the follow-up will cut off any sort of downwards clear. And now with the dribble, with the pass to the top side, looking for another passing play, and it gets past Perfect Curves as Babao looks for another right to Cholesterol, top side. It goes a dribble, but not quite enough this time, as B-Knight needs to be very careful, almost taken out, a little bit greedy, but not punished for it.
And an unfortunate misstrike by Perfect Curves let it go. Mike Mart kind of burning the flip to get that save there, but Senko Beloved Loaves making another offensive push. A lot of damage going on the side of Senko Beloved Loaves, and if Redemption gets a double KO, that might be the way to go. But Beloved Loaves is just playing so effectively, so good as a unit, forming those triangles, passing it around the midfield, and able to just secure these goals.
The passing plays come back, and once again, they are the ones with an advantage in this draft. So many strong awakenings for the IME available. Extra special could be it, but it also could be something like the perfect form. And of course, Mike Mart gets hotshot or prime time, a lot more defensive capability, but this is such a scary draft, denying the rune doubly. Hotshot extra special, but I'm not sure if hotshot was the play on Cholesterol because Cast Last was still on the board.
Yeah, Perfect Curve is able to find those banishes, and they're going to be longer even in the goal box. If Perfect Curves can time those banishes effectively. And again, kind of really work with Grain Attack here. Banish B Knight, and it should last long enough for Grain Attack to make something happen on a in the forward progression.
Cholesterol now looking for an outplay against Perfect Curves, who is defending the corner quite well, but Babao is so patient with the last strike. Usually, a lot of people just strike the core when it comes to them, but Babao is walking with it a lot and setting up much better rebounds.
Yeah, Babao really doing a good job in the midfield, like you said, dribbling it, maintaining control, maintaining that possession, not giving up the core for free. Where we see Chikara Redemption just kind of sending it over to the side of Sengo's beloved lows, and then just trying to transition offensively quickly. A lot of damage coming out from both teams, but Grain Attack able to secure the goal, and Chikara Redemption, we've seen this before with the power play, but a little too aggressive, little too hopeful, and gives up their own barrier.
And B-Knight winning strike war after strike war, making good clear after good clear, and Mike Martin an open net yet again. Such an impossible situation to be in for an Asher, and I don't think that guy has strike shot, so it's even more impossible. The core bounces off the center though. Big opportunity with the cast at last, but Mike Martin forced to burn so many abilities. Cholesterol on the rebound, can't quite get it.
Grain Attack is able to get a nice dribble to give themselves just enough space to walk it up and get that flip, and really challenged B Knight to a 50-50 there and secure the goal. And we see Redemption. Is this their first point?
It's their first point in a long while for sure, as a really awkward spot here. Back pass perhaps, a missed strike. But Mike Mart, a little bit of an early strike on the clear means that Babao capitalized. Cholesterol on point as well, and B-Knight's running forward. Cholesterol to the top side, clears away by Mike Mart, finding a barrier on the other end, and maybe Chikara Redemption have a chance here.
Yeah, they got the power play going. They have the goals open. This might be the situation they need, but B-Knight lucky get it in as best they can, stopping so many pushes, but a perfect curve, perfect pillar covers the clear, sending it up to Grain Attack to secure that goal. And this, I think, I'm pretty sure is the first time we've seen Redemption up in points this game.
Oh, a really awkward flip to try and get it around the behind the top barrier, but it didn't quite work out. And now Cholesterol only has one barrier to target here, and the firewall sentry is just perfect, making the timing so difficult for Mike Mart. A KO found as well with all the damage pouring in on the corner, and B-Knight is flying forward, getting every single catch. Double banish will slow down the play, but it doesn't really achieve too much other than that. But maybe slowing down is all they need, as Grain Attack has respawned.
And that Perfect Curves almost own goals there with that pillar, but Mike Martin able to catch it. But the firewall sentry from Babao kind of covers Mike Martin. Perfect Curves not able to teleport back up in time to cover the top of the goal box. Single beloved low, sending it in, getting finally on the scoreboard this set.
Tough spot now is Babao again, very good to delay the offensive push, and Cholesterol as well, a delayed strike, finds two barriers so quickly. Grain Attack burns dash punch preemptively, and that means there's no dash punch, well maybe there's a punch, is all they need for now as they push forward, but a flip available for Babao, not used, and the set win for Chikara Redemption.
Yeah, Chikara Redemption, I think, really needed this. And I believe, yep, that's going to be a Grain Attack up front. I don't know what Grain Attack is looking for here. Do they go for the prize fighter? Because they've been getting a lot of those KOs. Or the Catalyst pickup just for that Energy Awakening. It looks like they are going for the KOs. They'll be able to build that up pretty quick, but they've been having a lot of power plays, and I'm not sure it's been the call for them.
Catalyst falling down to Perfect Curves gives the Chikara Redemption a bit of a flip win condition perhaps. Timeless Critter Enemy turrets are good and all, but the flips have been devastating against the Kai in the open net.
Yeah, and especially with how effective Sengo's beloved lows, but Babao specifically has been with these flips. I'm kind of surprised they just don't want more of that, but IMEs kind of love that Timeless Creator, so we'll see if it pays off.
It is the two-piece win condition, right? It is timeless, extra special. The Firewall Sentry is going to do a lot of work, but it's going to need to do a lot of work.
Yeah, and there we see it trying to lock it in, but no, Perfect Curves and Mike are able to clear it past that Firewall Sentry. Psycho Below does get it sent back, but Cholesterol is getting staggered, not able to stay in the forward pressure, but they do see a barrier going down on the side of Redemption.
Cholesterol still staying alive, though, but a barrier falling. Cholesterol, though, again, surviving. Okay, well, not for too much longer, and Grand Attack pushes forward. The Firewall Sentry on the defense this time, and the goalie being taken out. That's 3 prize fighter stacks already as Babao desperately defends, has flip available, dodges away, and flips it to get the barrier on the other side. A masterclass from Babao, but leaving the goal wide open is Cholesterol overcommitting on the play. It was brilliant for a moment.
Babao able to lock it down, able to win the flip war, and able to clear it out and get the barrier, but yeah, Chikara Redemption able to make use of that power play, and we do see 2 core flips on the side as Mike Mark kind of burns one defensively a little early, but
that prize fighter Grand Attack is about to close out this one with a flip available, but actually kind of overcommits onto the KO instead of just simply flipping it in, and that's what they do right here on the second try.
I did not realize this. Grand Attack picked up Adrenaline Rush 2 drafts ago, so that makes that prize fighter pickup much more sense, and I think a very good play on Grand Attack. Get this KOs and just get your abilities back up and get more KOs. I guess it's not so much they can't convert a power play. I think they just need a 3v1.
But watch out. Sengo's Beloved Loaves still have the core control, but Sengo's Beloved Loaves are lingering too much near the top wall. So many KOs found in the same exact way by Grand Attack here, who now switches targets onto the barrier. Could have gotten the goal there with the banish, but will get one with the dash punch instead. We're on a set 5, and Chikara Redemption show no signs of slowing down.
And I think with that prize fighter pickup, it's becoming the Grant show. Getting those KOs, proccing that speed, getting more KOs. We see a 1-2 punch. They're going to be able to KO pretty much from mid-map if they decide to pick that up.
They could even opt for the knife's edge, which is what they do. A little bit more speed and, of course, more power to help out with that. Ego is picked up, a little bit more energy and denying away the Catalyst Ego's combination. But I think it might be too little too late. Chikara Redemption have everything they need to close this one out.
It was looking a little dicey, but I think you're right. Chikara Redemption has officially scaled as of last set, and they found their win con. Eliminate the enemy team.
And that is what Grand Attack does best here. Looking for a dash punch onto B-Knight, perhaps a little bit ambitious. An ace from Babao and Cholesterol. A cyber swipe into a little bit more on the top side. And Chikara Redemption instantly wiped off the map out of nowhere.
Sanka Beloved Loaves saying they can do that too, and just kind of catching the entirety of Redemption off guard is stacking too close to the edge, and a free point.
Oh, but a combination there from Mike Bar. Perfect path splitter to make sure that the KO is found. The dash punch wouldn't have killed normally, and that's a prize fighter stack earned back from Grand Attack. 1 stack on the board now. Not a useless awakening, but Cholesterol needs to be careful too. Survives the onslaught. I think if Grand Attack and Perfect Curves can combo here, get a banish and a dash punch, that could be huge. But so far, we're not seeing that. We're seeing the dash punches, which make it good so far. But this time, Senko's Beloved Loaves seem like they're on a different level. No! Babao positions way too close to the edge, but both barriers do go down. But a flip available from Grand Attack. A pass up to Perfect Curves, but Cholesterol is there to cover. Top side looking so dangerous, but the pillar doesn't form fully, and that means that Babao is back.
Yeah, and Grand Attack and Mike Mar having a little bit of miscommunication, kind of approaching the core on who is going to take it, and Babao able to sneak in and get the core going in the direction they want, and now just use that Firewall Sentry to kind of keep it there. But Grand Attack with a beautiful Julie dash to just send that core flying with overtime speed, goes right past B-Knight, just not expecting it. Could have striked, could have flipped, but it was just too quick.
Oh, and not realizing that. Not being able to react to that, it's something that you can't expect the goalie to react to in that clump. It's such a random situation, but Sengo's Beloved Loaves, they could be 2-0 up right now, but now they're in such a troublesome spot because Grand Attack is starting to scale the prize fighter.
Yeah, we did see Babao able to dodge one dash punch attempt from Grand Attack, which means those abilities do go back on their full cooldown, but after this banish, I'm pretty sure Grand Attack is at full Julie power with trying to get these KOs, and just not able to get Cholesterol.
A flip to the other side. Cholesterol still staying alive for the moment. Needs to not let Grand Attack get this one for free, not get the reset for free, but Grand Attack pushing forward on the top side. Cholesterol still staying alive, and Perfect Curves actually taking a ton of damage. Cholesterol is winning the fight.
Yeah, Cholesterol Kazan with keeping those stacks on stacks at 150. Kazan's zooming, so if Redemption could have gotten a KO on them, that would have been huge. Just slow down Cholesterol. They still get attempted. They do get a double KO. And can Redemption, is this what they need? Is this what they need the power play to be in order to make something happen?
Oh, and the Giga Blast goes wide. That could have been huge for B-Knight, but now the passing plays will come through. But a really aware clear from B-Knight to not get caught by the pillar. Grand Attack's almost being taken out, but the primary misses just barely. And now the pillar covers the corner. Perfect Curves at the right time. Places down a massive obstacle to Senko's beloved Loaf's game plan.
This is so much more of a competitive match than what it started. It started very shaky on the side of Redemption. Just Senko beloved Loaves just playing so well as a unit, just so efficiently. But as soon as Grand Attack scaled and started disrupting that team synergy is kind of when Chikara Redemption is able to start making things happen, start making these plays.
They gotta be so careful, because if Grand Attack gets one KO, that could spell the end of the game. But the hook from Cholesterol is such a good tool. The primary, the barrier beam, keeping it away. But Cholesterol overextending. You can't be using the top spin like that in the corner. And that's an adrenaline rush reset. That's so much speed from Grand Attack. But Bao, though, positioning very well to not get pushed off the edge, and still has a flip available, still has a glitch pop, trying to send it forward here. Finds a bounce. Burns so many cooldowns from Mike Mar and Perfect Curves, but they have so many cooldowns still.
Yeah, and that Senko's beloved Love's able to hold on just long enough for Cholesterol to get in, but not long enough to keep that barrier open. And now it is Chikara Redemption's point in a match to win. Set point, goals open. Can you make this happen? Can you get the play set up? The core somehow sneaks around the Asher ult, and Grand Attack tries to kick punch. B-Knight finding the clear. Two flips, one on the forward, one on the goalie. Who flinches? Who can get set up first?
But Bao still staying alive somehow, pushing it forward, but Cholesterol overextends. Grand Attack, other side, but that flip's a little ambitious in terms of scoring potential. Now B-Knight needs to be so careful on the defensive end. Still has a flip available, but Cholesterol and B-Bao need to find something right now before Mike Mark can just get the cooldowns back and start defending even more. And the core speed is so scary, but eventually it'll go to Cholesterol and Senko's beloved Loafs. B-Knight, what a heroic performance to weather the storm.
Set 5.5. At this point, is it anyone's game? Is it Senko's beloved Loafs and their team synergy, their chemistry, their ability to just work as a unit? Or is it Grand Attack finding these KOs, Perfect Curves, finding these pillar plays, and helping Mike Mart with these defensive plays that they really need just to survive?
But it's Babao's individual outplay there, surviving, preventing the next adrenaline rush reset, dodging away from so much damage, and finding a barrier on the other end despite the deficit in players. Cholesterol got caught out, but because of how well Babao played, it didn't even matter.
Yeah, and we see B-Knight with the flip, use it defensively just to deny losing the double barrier. But now we see one barrier down each side. All these abilities coming out. A scrap in the midfield. A beautiful rune pillar covering the entire lock. You are not getting through that, as we see Grand Attack finding another KO and another power play on the side of Chikara Redemption. A second KO from Grand Attack on the goalie. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
And Grand Attack secures it with the ace.
Chikara Redemption. They were behind. They look shaky, but they come back with a vengeance. Finding Redemption, finding a 4-0 record, pretty much guaranteeing first seed out of this group, and that is a monumental thing to do for a team, for Chikara in general. Chikara has never won an OSAS. This might be the team to do it.
This might be it. They have so much potential in each individual player, but those first two sets on that game, I think, kind of showed where Redemption kind of needs to improve. They need to improve on their team play. I believe all three of these players, I know Perfect Curves was on a Chikara cheating last season, stepping in with Grand Attack and Mike Mart. I don't believe Mike Mart and Grand Attack played with each other, so this is a team put together just this season. They need to work on those plays. They have so much potential, and they have so much individual abilities and so much skill individually that they need to find a way to use that as a unit, which is what we saw from Senko's beloved Loaves. And just unfortunately, the kill power of Grand Attack just ended up destroying that synergy in those later sets.
It's so tough too because Sango's Beloved Loaves, oh, they almost had it, right? They were so close to getting
They
it done.
they were so close to getting it done. They had so many good plays. Their one weakness was just getting caught off guard by the Julie, standing too close to the edge, and that just let Redemption scale out of control.
Yeah, all it took was one more evade, one more moment of outplaying the Juliet, but you know, that's just what ifs. We're within the reality where now Sengo's Beloved Loaves face a little bit of a harder path out of the group. Not impossible, honestly, not even unlikely, because there are 1-3 teams. So being at 2-2 is honestly pretty good still for Sengo's Beloved Loaves, but they'll still have to get a win in the end here to really secure that spot out of the group.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm looking forward to seeing both these teams. I hope both these teams make it to the bracket stage, the finale day 2. Redemption work on this that team synergy, that team plays. Senko's Beloved Loaves, we saw it there. They have so much potential. They are so good as a team. But if you look at the match we saw previously to this, they kind of fall apart when they panic. They need to work on their mental and staying locked in, which they were that match. It just kind of Redemption scaling out of control.
Well, and with that, the 4th round of pools has concluded. We're moving on to the 5th round of pools, the final round, determining who goes to the upper bracket, who goes to the lower bracket, and who is eliminated. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we'll see you then.
All right, everybody, and we are back with our second block of the night and our final round here in the group stage. We're going to be chopping over to Pool 2. We're going to see the undefeated Seraphim Oxblood versus the undefeated We Love Dubu play their final match of the night. Taking through this, I am Lego Mage here with EOS. How are you doing tonight? What are you thinking of this matchup? This looks good.
Whoa, it's going to be Taiko Tempo, and honestly, we saw, in the previous game that Meowsy and Agnes and Junk Dogma, all three of them feel very confident on Taiko Tempo. Let's see if they can actually make that actually come back and do just another dominating game in this next little block right here.
Yeah, and Spark of Resilience, Knife's Edge start here. Polarizing picks for sure. Knife's Edge, you can get a lot of speed. Prioritize those edge KOs and Spark of Resilience. Of course, you have the Spark scaling, but that extra stagger is so good for surviving chip damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate this character draft and Awakening selections, because it will determine pretty early on, I think, what each side is going to be playing for.
Yes, with the Spark starting, we're going to see a late game scaling team comp, perhaps, but Knife Edge leads to early kills. So this starting Awakening draft set is late game versus early game. What team will capitalize on which set?
Yeah, and going into ban phase now, we got a few hovers there from We Love Dubu. Car, Mako, Juno, an interesting comp if they do go for it. Juliet and Asher banned out. The Brawler pool becoming a little bit thinned out here, but we know Knight on the other side does have a pretty mean Zentaro that is still available. I have to see.
Honestly, I am not surprised to see the Acid Band come out. Between Knife's Edge and Meowsy feeling rather confident on them, it's safe to say they wanted to ban him out instead.
Looks like they picked up the Dubu and the Zen here. On the side of Oxplug, Agnes going for the Juno midfield, and Junk Dogma looks like gonna lock in the Mako goalie. Melee goalie's very good on this map, and that's exactly what we're getting. But Meowsy left a little bit barren in the striker department. Looks like the Asher Band and the Dubu pickup a little bit drained for characters. They will go with the Kazan though as the forward. So just looking for the midfield pick for Oxblood, and will be Vice. So big damage going to be coming out from Oxblood this set, and I mean this could very well just be a Knife's Edge selection for them. Actually, no, they're just going to go Spark of Resilience, prevent dying, and just look for that later scaling. It's actually Agnes and Junk Dogma who went for the Knife's Edge here.
Actually, kind of surprised though that they went the Spark scaling, but the damage output though could actually counteract the Knife's Edge potential kill put out from that. So maybe they're hoping that just the raw power from their characters could make up and go for that late game point.
Yeah, I think it's pretty smart, because I think the worst thing you can do in a KO comp is be getting KO'd yourself. And of course, there's no one really, other than Meowsy, no one else is really vying for Sparks over on We Love Dubu. So they're in a pretty comfy situation in terms of picking those up throughout the game. So I think there's a good chance that they start scaling with the cooldown with the power as we go on. But Oxblood in a good spot. They've got both barriers down, an open goal to work with. We'll have to see if they're able to reconvert here and set up the first point.
The only issue I have with the draft pick, though, with the Awakenings, is that Meowsy did take the Spark, which late game will be fine. But Kazan is a slow start character. He only has half his kit during the first level, so if he can't get that level, he's going to be the last pick, and he may end up losing out on the early Sparks that may appear.
Yeah, we actually saw it there. That was quite a long point, but Meowsy was not able to hit level 2 just yet, and Oxblood was able to go up on the board first. So far winning in core control just a bit here, but with energy coming up, might have a little bit of a different game on our hands now. Junk Dogma and Knight trading. Knight with a nice bounce for the double barrier. That'll be going down first too soon on the defense. Receives it once with the roll, but not twice. Meowsy able to pick up a barrier in return. A lot of damage coming in though. Core flip from Agnes, but core flip from Lilas is going to pick up the KO. In return, Meowsy also staggered here, and Oxblood in a great spot. Lilas Thunderstruck teleports up and just strikes it right in, and it's a set point for Seraphim Oxblood to start off.
We did actually talk about how the damage output from Vice and Zentaro maybe just, they can go with that Spark build early on and not need Knife's Edge. And we're seeing right now, they are getting those kills. They are dominating Agnes and Meowsy in damage. And Junk Dogma just cannot sustain themselves throughout the aggression they have because of that.
Yeah, Oxblood doing a good job balancing the damage with the core. Big Supernova here absolutely chunks Agnes and gets the barrier. That's the kind of stuff that we like to see, combining damage with core control, and so far Oxblood doing a good job of it. Knight almost able to make a play on the goal there. The German base fortunately does shut that down. They will lose a barrier on the return. Now seeing Agnes looking for a second one. They'll get it. Now an open goal on both sides here. A chance for We Love Dubu to do something, but falling back on the defense here. Goes for the power core. The German base getting used. Gets over to Meowsy too soon with a nice clear down around the bottom side, but Agnes gets there first to try and send it back. That's once again falling back here in the midfield, stuck in the ensnare drum. Zoni's blade comes out from Knight, has the flip available. Looking forward in the corner, burns it here. Baits out Junk Dogma's flip, but doesn't find the point just yet. And the slime, it shoots it past too soon. A little too fast. And the Dubu can't catch it. We Love Dubu. Gonna go up on the board 1-2.
Stevens is actually playing rather defensively, but is working out. They are taking a lot of damage due to the lack of the energy to not be able to evade, for example, Lele's ultimate. But the slimes, they just cover the ground that Agnes cannot cover themselves. And we've seen that they is just punishing too soon for that.
And now too soon here with the core flip. But Meowsy has the hook and will bring down that second barrier regardless. Now with a chance to score. The maddening descent does not land though. Well, that's a chance to core flip it out of there, but it's going to get sent back around, and Oxblood now in a bit of a predicament with all these creations in the way, but they will manage to find a clear, bring it out into the top corner now. Knight bringing down both barriers and an open goal for both sides. Agnes trying to get it out, but Knight pass up to Lilas in the Supernova, but a little bit of room to work with, and We Love Dude will be able to clear it back out, rotate it back around here. Too soon, passes up to Lilas to try and get it out. Agnes is in the way with that knife's edge, though. Running around, making it hard to clear it off their side of the field. Knight goes up, but Meowsy cutting the pass, almost finds the point, but not quite able to find it. And then Agnes going to send it back in here as the Tofu Fortress is committed. Heading into overtime here. Knight in the bottom side. Lilas pushing up for a passing opportunity, but the ensnare drums come out and make things hard. And now Meowsy trying to pass it up to Agnes, going for the top, but too soon is there. Has a slime in the way. The knife's edge, too soon, able to save that one. Gets it back to Knight, goes for the dash, but Junk Dogma holds it down. And Agnes clears it out of there. A contest going back and forth now. No one can get anything going, but Lilas pass to Knight, looking for the bottom. Doesn't have the angle. And still, no one yet to score.
Too soon actually got the core flip back, and they used it effectively to get it actually away from them. But the issue is, like, Meowsy just cannot find those hits. They're missing the hooks non-stop. The strikes, they are not getting next speed they desperately need for that draft pick. But too soon with that knife's edge pick, isn't actually keeping up.
Oh, but a KO on a Meowsy there. Could be the game changer. Core flip from Agnes too soon with the strike shot. He's going to steal it away and pass to Lilas, and his power core will confirm the point. What a fight there. Back and forth all point for a long one, but there from Oxblood come out on top for the set. And Lilas, the top MVP right now. Catalyst, perfect form, a spark available as well. Big rewards for the set winner.
I can almost assume they're taking Spark of Agility, and there it is. And unfortunately, though, it does mean that Oxblood does have the early Spark lead on Dubu. And unfortunately, Meowsy is last pick. You hate to see that when you're running Spark early on.
Whoa. They just allowed Perfect Form Zentaro at 5th pick, which is really scary because that awakening is very good and like extremely good on Zentaro. Agnes wanted to deny the dash awakening, but there's so many dash awakenings in the pool, I don't even know if that's really worth it. That may have been a misdraft from We Love Dubu, because now Knight is kind of built. Lilas has double sparks, and too soon, of course, has the unstoppable for dealing with Meowsy. Seraphim Oxblood really made the most of that draft.
100% they did, especially Lele's. Like, just that pick up in the Spark of Agility, one, in my opinion, one of the best Sparks in the game. But denying Meowsy that stacking means they actually got two effects out of it. One, Lele's got more speed and more defense, and two, Meowsy's now pushed further back in power because of that.
Yeah, and well, once again, it seems like this point could be going on a bit long here as both teams locked into one barrier right now. Meowsy able to change that with a nice crooked leverage. And open up Oxblood each side of the goal first here. Knight with a nice passive into dash here. Goes for the slice and dice. Core Flip's getting traded, and Knight will bring down the second one. Both sides opened up too soon. Up to Lilas. Agnes almost able to strike it in, but not quite. Now Junk Dogma looking for a clear angle, but Lilas in position. It bounced off the center just enough to allow him to get a shot to the top side, and it's Oxblood going up first yet again.
Honestly, though, Oxblood, I feel like, has the better draft for the Awakenings, but more specifically on Too Soon. The fact is, I think Too Soon flies better when the locks are down, as strange as it sounds. Dubu's biggest weakness is his speed, and not counting, of course, his finicky moves. But just having Knife's Edge means he can catch that core way easier to be near the actual point rather than trying to defend the locks.
And now Core Flip here from Too Soon. Slime will stall it out a bit, but they'll manage to find it clear, and Meowsy is staggered. The Thunderstruck from Lilat's going to be what hits the final hit there. And the double barrier is coming down now on the power play for Seraphim Oxblood. Agnes able to pick up a cheeky barrier, though, with the jump. Get a little bit of something out of that. Now Meowsy back online. Some pressure coming out, though, from the forwards of Oxblood. Knight passed up to the teleport, and Lilas is there to sink it right in. A well-coordinated play from Seraphim Oxblood will bring them to set point.
Knight may be the aggressor forward, but this game is 100% in Leylace's control. They are dominating from everywhere, just from the midfield. There's no place safe for Dubu from this menace of a vice.
Yeah, they're definitely playing very well together. The passing plays are going hard, and they're not getting too caught up in just trying to pump out damage. But right now, it's Meowsy on a bit of a forward show right now, as both barriers going to come down pretty quick there, and as they look to receive the pass for the score. But Too Soon doing a good job striking it away from that vertical hitbox, playing around the sides of Kazan. Get it back to Leylace, and that's the Supernova for the score. A second set now for Seraphim Oxblood, and they are just running away with this one right now. Leylace, the MVP again. Will they get a third spark? No, but they get quite a lot of good other things.
We have Adverse for the killing power, team play for Dubu. Egoist is always a safe pick, Mr. Prop, but they do take Hotshot to deny Juno.
That's a good pick. It's a good deny, and it's still just really good on Vice in general, so I like it.
Leylace is just dominating with these Awakening picks, getting what she wants every time.
Wait, whoa, Egoist went unpicked. Wait a minute. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, there's...
I'm actually at a lot for us too. Like,
yeah,
it's
I'm a
very
little
rare
bit
to see
surprised.
Egoist actually be not picked up by any player. It's just a
Yeah,
dominating Awakening. Speed, energy, it's what you want in most games.
Yeah, Meowsy or Agnes should have gone. I think Meowsy should have gone for that instead of the Stagger Swagger. I don't know that the Stagger Swagger is going to really matter all that much. I like the peek on Knight because of the Stagger scaling, but he's only got one spark, so... yeah, the speed's like really good, of course, the Stagger is, but I don't know. Someone should have picked up Egoist.
Yeah, if anything, I feel like Stagger should have gotten to Agnes, if anything. They're the ones taking the brunt of the damage from Zentaro and Vice.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a draft blunder from We Love Dubu yet again. I think Seraphim Oxblood definitely came out on top there. I think no one getting Egoist is in Seraphim Oxblood's favor.
Yeah, like they already got what they want. If Dubu got the that Awakening, they may have actually been able to come back, but letting it go through, they may have given up a possible big chance of actually getting like the energy they need for core flipping.
Well, regardless, it's Meowsy with a nice little finesse there, the crook leverage to get it around the log. That is going to put We Love Dubu first up on the board. Their first time doing that this game. We'll see if they're able to continue scoring points here in this set as Meowsy yet again looking to take over. Doesn't find the top spin, but gets it right around the roll, so it'll be a barrier regardless now. Core flip here from Junk Dogma to try and send it back in, and Agnes trying to work some magic on the bottom side, but soon going to be able to flip that one out of there. Knight not quite able to land up the dash. May have another opportunity here, however, the midfield looking a little bit packed right now. The ensnare drum's coming out onto Lilas. Core flip, get it in the corner, and now in a 1v2. Junk Dogma holds it down, though. A nice clear pass to Zentaro. Get it back out to the forwards. Meowsy's trying to make something happen, but a bit of a 1v3 at the moment. There's the slime for the Tofu Fortress. Bouncing around just a little bit, but they can't get it out of this corner. Oxblood struggling just a bit, but they will hold the barrier and manage to clear it out now. Knight with the Oni's Blade, but it has the passive. Is going to lose the control of core just a little bit. Zentaro moments as Agnes looking to try and pass it back in. Both sides struggling to bring down the final barriers right now, but Soon is holding a roll, a belly flop to pass it up to Lele's, and a Thunderstruck coming out. Doesn't even need to teleport, just bring down the second barrier now. It's Oxblood with the first open goal, and they're going to get it back to Nightmare, chasing up into the Ensnare Drums, but that'll sneak right out back to Meowsy, who can't really do much with it. Agnes going to give him another chance, though. Drop down, Madden in Descent, goes for the poke, core flip on the line, and that's the barrier gone. And now both sides are opened up right now. Agnes with a nice pass to Meowsy. The top spin mix-up. Sinks it to the bottom and gets the core flip. A big point for We Love Dubu as they're now on set point and got the goalie flip.
Meowsy played that so perfect at the end there. That top spin, denying Soon. Just the position they want. Pushing him in the corner. Causing him to panic core flip. Trying to do anything to save that point, but not finding the save. Meowsy played that so well.
Yeah, for sure. And another quick 2 barriers here. Only about 10 seconds in. We Love Dubu with a real chance to steal this set right now. Agnes with a pass up to Meowsy. Sinks it right in. 3-0. The set absolutely stolen away. Like the best adaptation award was from Arcade. And they will take it to set 4 now. Meowsy going to be the MVP.
Very topical of a point right there. But Spark of Strength is there. Meowsy possibly going to go for it, denying both device. And as you see right here, they are indeed taking Spark of Strength. A big pickup for Meowsy at this point.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deny. And of course, you get the second spark there. Lilas, of course, is stuck at the bottom of the draft right now, and there's the Super Surge for Knight. That's just as good, if not better in some cases, as getting the explosive entrance. But Fight or Flight on Agnes is a really nice pickup that Juno is going to be moving with all that movement awakening. Lilas, though, rapid fire, double spark hot shot. Certainly nothing to be sad at, and Happy Star and Junk Dogma. Everyone getting some really good stuff in that draft right now, and dare I say, the builds they were in Oxblood's favor for a while, but I think they're starting to look a lot more even now.
Yes, actually, with Junk Dogma's pickup of Extra Special, it actually denies Lele's ultimate move just so much more. And plus, Mako loves Extra Special. Like, that ultimate is so good for defending. Or offense if you want to go that route too, but just Lele's just getting denied both what they want from both Kazan and Mako. But still, Rapid Fire is still a good pickup altogether. We'll see if that actually works out in their favor, though.
Oh, bit of a lost strike war there. Agnes able to point, but yeah. Lilas could basically kind of spam Power Chord now on cooldown, because you have the extra cooldown, and plus every time Hot Shot procs, you're getting even more cooldown back. So I definitely think, we didn't see it that much in that point, but I think as soon as they realize that they're able to just kind of spam it, I think we're going to start to see this Vice really get unlocked.
Vice has already been unlocked, in my opinion, for a good while, but like you're saying, though, like, it's just constantly just the power chords and a beautiful kill.
Oh no!
But it does come at a cost. Lele's with the self score.
Fudgy angle. That's rough. You hate to see those ones, but that's the hot shot kicking in on the supernova. Just hits it a little bit too fast off the barrier here, but yeah, this is a rough spot now for Seraphim Oxblood. Down 2. On verge of set 5. I think if it goes to set 5, they might not be able to come back. I think you got to try and end it here if you're Oxblood. A nice flip from Soon actually converts it all the way around to pick up the second barrier, and the forwards now waiting for this core, but Meowsy able to fish it out of the passing lane and get it back around. Knight trying to make a breakaway here from the center, but Agnes wins the strike war. Too soon up to Lilas, but doesn't get very far with it. It gets back to Meowsy. The Soup is committed, though, and the core now floating back to Knight. Gets stuck in the Ensnare Drums over, and Lilas has the Supernova. Oni's Blade coming out, but nothing is working. Agnes and Junk Dogma will hold it down for long enough. Nightmare going to try for another attempt. Lilas has the Thunderstruck, but the core not going over to their side of the field. It's actually be the second barrier for Oxblood falling down, and now Meowsy with the core goes for the bottom, but joints it off the edge. It's okay. All good, and they'll sink it in, and we are going to set 5. We Love Dubu sweeping the last 2, 6-0 unanswered.
And this is going to be a big one right here, because the last spark of focus right here is in play. However, we do see that they want to go 1-2 punch. They may actually let it go through to Zentaro, and that would be 2 sparks across 3 players, if they choose to pick it up. But they do pick it up, and that does deny Kazan the pick instead.
Yeah, he had to pick that, right? You cannot let Meowsy have
You cannot.
third mark. especially on Kazan like that. Deadeye here, though, for Lilas, and Primetime on the Kazan. Stacks on Mako. Pass to last here for Dubu. Yeah, Lilas needs to be spamming Power Chord, I think, in order to start making the most of this. They need to just kill as much as possible. I really think that that's got to be their win con here.
Actually, though, Meowsy picking up Primetime, though, is actually a good pick as well, because once again, Laylee's got denied. Because Rapid Fire Primetime is just a strong combo, especially someone like Lele's, who wants that Primate, who wants to be spamming it non-stop with damage and core control. And just Kazan can make so much use out of it with double Primates on both his moves.
And well, Oxblood right now in a pretty alright situation. Knight gonna go for the core flip, the passive, to try and get the barrier, but it's blocked, and now the ensnare drum's coming out. And out of resources now, it's We Love Dubu who are able to reconvert here and in the midfield. The Slimes will get blocked a bit, but Meowsy able to win a strike war. Keep it away from the barrier. Lilas down to Knight. Goes for the shot, but Junk Dogma's there to respond. Holding in the corner for so long, but the Oni's blade is going to be a bit too much to deal with. Knight goes for the KO on the goalie, but doesn't quite find it. But it's all right. Too soon. Committing the soup to the defense to try and get this core out of here. And Lilas with the Supernova. The ensnare drum's in the way, though, and Junk Dogma holds it down with the drum and bass. Agnes jumping up the top side, but can't hold on to the core. Knight with the slice and dice to dribble it, and gets it right around Junk Dogma. A beautiful shot there from Knight, and great capitalization on the mistakes there from Seraphim Oxblood to find that point, and they will go up first here in set 5.
Junk Dogma is maybe trying to save the core flip for a vital moment, but as you saw, they just lost 2 locks right there. But finally, it does come out, but it may have been too late for them. And honestly, with Too Soon and Lele's having core flips, they have complete domination at this point right here if they choose to go that route.
Agnes came back there just in time to defend that point right now. Knight can win the 1v1, but not the 1v2 without help from Lele's here. So Knight dashing up through the center there. A little redirect on the dash, but unfortunately it's not going to be good enough. It's Meowsy who brings down a second barrier. Agnes jumping up, and Meowsy with the flip. Gets hit with the soup, though, and Too Soon. A nice strike to block it, but the Slimes are up on the goal line. Nightmare's falling back on the defense here, and Seraphim Oxblood will hold for now. Meowsy looking for another chance, but Too Soon will flop on the core and get it back to Lilas here. Meowsy crooked left to the bottom. Too Soon can't make it. The strike shot was too early, and We Love Dubu will tie it up 1-1.
Meowsy with that hook at a vital moment was so perfect for them. Beating out Too Soon's strike shot and making him actually go on cooldown and not be able to defend it. That is the type of Kazan play that I love to see. And Meowsy's coming back in prime gameplay style right here, showing that why Kazan is just a dominant pick when it comes to core control right now.
With that prime time, so many options to deal with, and without any cooldowns, Dubu doesn't have much except being big hamper. So soup coming out pretty early here, but it should pay off as long as they're able to get it out of this this corner. But so far, having a little bit of trouble with that. Meowsy making them commit even more cooldowns right now. Core flip here from Knight, but in the midfield, they're actually able to dink one barrier there with a funny little angle. So it will be well spent, but Agnes cutting the pass with the jump, and that's an open goal on the side of Oxblood. Now Knight in the 1v2, can't get much done. Lele's from the top side. The Slimes, though, are in the way. A pass to Meowsy forces the core flip out of Too Soon. Knight trying to catch the core, has the Oni's blade, but Lele's on the top side and not able to recover it, teleporting onto the Thunderstruck pad. Still looking for this barrier, but Agnes making it tough. A pass to Meowsy here, loses the core just a bit. And now a core flip here from Junk Dogma. Gets stopped by the Thunderstruck. And Lele's looking to convert, but Junk Dogma, the core moving a little bit too fast, will be able to clear it out here. Pass down to Agnes. Knight dashing up. Pass to Lilas. Gets in the corner, and that's the barrier gone. And now Knight in position. Agnes wins the strike forward, though. Lilas another chance. Agnes cutting the pass. Supernova coming out with the ensnare drums to match, but a bad bounce, and it'll go in. Seraphim Oxblood now on match point.
I don't know if that was a misplay by Agnes or what, but like hitting the middle drum twice, both with her main attack and the slime, forcing Junk Dogma to use the prime special. That may have been a misplay on their part, but we don't know for certain. Only the players know. But as you see right here, they are trying so hard to force it down the bottom, and they do find that lock, thankfully.
And Nightmare going to get a lock to match here. Both core flips burnt for the second one, but they don't pick it up. A massive waste of energy there for Oxblood, and an opportunity for We Love Dubu potentially capitalize here. Now he's slinging it around. Enough core speed to get it past the Dubu, and that's the second lock gone. a chance to bring it to 0.5 here. Core flip from Junk Dogma. Misses the flip, though, but the drum and bass will be able to clear it out. Back to Meowsy now. Knight versus Agnes in the midfield. They'll get it back up to Lilas. Supernova, mini one. Will get stopped just a bit, but they get it back to Knight. Slice and dice for the barrier here. A strike shot will keep it away from Meowsy. Knight chasing the core, but Agnes jumps there first and gets it over to Meowsy. Core flip's got to be burnt by too soon. Not willing to risk the 50. And a pass here to Meowsy. Goes for the core leverage too soon. Holds it down. Wins the 50 twice. And it gets back to Lilas here. Meowsy, another shot, but catches it off the corner. Will they have another opportunity? The Slime's in the way, but Nightmare gets there first. It's going to go back around. The Tofu Fortress committed. The Slime's fighting against the wall right now, but Nightmare on the bottom with Yoni's blade. Pass up to the Vice here. A strike shot to keep it in. But too soon, we'll have to go back to the defense here. Lilas in the midfield. And a KO from Knight on the goalie! Lilas will get the point. Nightmare coming up huge when it mattered. And that is Seraphim Oxblood. They will go undefeated in the group stage.
Dunk Dogma was just forced so far back and to the point where they just couldn't just defend against the Centaur and actually fell for it. And that's rough to see, honestly, if I may be honest. Mockery just cannot keep up with the aggression and Knight they just kept it up.
Yeah, really good there. Great final sets. They did a good job in the draft, I think, as well, pinching Meowsy's good characters, putting her on something a little bit more uncomfortable. And, well, Knight and Lilas, of course, were on really good comfort picks that they piloted quite well. 4 KOs from Lilas, only 1 from Knight, that being the final one. There was a bit of a KO drought there for those last few sets, but Knight came in big when it really, really mattered. Junk Dogma was giving them a lot of problems, and, I mean, take him off the field, and it solves quite a lot of them there. 113 saves from too soon. 230 redirects. Absolutely held it down in the face of some pretty wild pressure. Juno with all that speed is certainly nothing to scoff at, but yeah, well played there from both sides. But Oxblood has something to be proud of, I think, going through that group stage undefeated.
Oxblood put up a fantastic fight right there at that point. Like, we see right there from the post-game stats, 91 shots from Agnes, 219 redirects. Second most redirects in the game and most shots in the game. They were definitely trying, and they actually had also most damage too. Agnes put up a valiant fight, and Meowsy came back in strong near the end. But as I said before, too soon with that knife's head pick. This countered that Dubu's slow speed debuff. And actually was made like too soon was able to keep up with everything. All the aggression from Meowsy, all the aggression from Agnes. And honestly, they did a fantastic job with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is it for our group stage. If we look at do a little rundown of the bracket right here. Seraphim Oxblood. We'll start with Pool 2 because that's what's up first. Seraphim Oxblood, number 1. We Love Dubu. Number 2, Xbox Record That. Coming in at number 3, it looks like. Going 3 and 2. So, I don't know. I think it's top 3 move on. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's our top 3 for Pool 2. Meanwhile, Pool number 1 is Chikara Redemption at 4 and 1. Seraphim Crimson at 4 and 1. And Senko's Beloved Los at 3 and 2. So those are our standings. That's pretty much where we're at. So we'll throw it to a bit of a break right now, and when we come back, we'll be starting with our first actual bracket match of the night, I believe, starting in the losers bracket. So stick around, and when we come back, it'll be that.